it's pretty clear for what needs to happen for the Seattle Seahawks. I feel like it's getting to the point where it's Super Bowl or bust. Now, the only other team I might be able to say that about is, well, the Minnesota Vikings. But I think the Seahawks not only have, I believe, more of an opportunity, but I think that they are definitely in a better opportunity, even though I think the Vikings can surely do it. Because at the end of the day, the Seattle Seahawks are stacked on every which way. Doesn't matter. They are absolutely stacked. Before we get into why I think the Seattle Seahawks are stacked and they can definitely make some noise, make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support we get from you guys. But for me, it's pretty simple. It has gotten to the point now where in the offseason, trade scenarios were flying around. And even though I felt like Russell Wilson didn't exactly demand a trade, I felt like it was one of those situations where he didn't exactly stomp it out either. I mean, there was a lot of trade buzz, but at the end of the day, he did say he was happy there. So I think it's getting to the point now where fans, executives, and players have to ask the question if this is actually going to work out. I think it will. I think the Seattle Seahawks are a dangerous team. DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. The fact that Tyler Lockett gets so much disrespect actually baffles me. It truly does. I mean, he is one of the most explosive and fun to watch wide receivers I've ever witnessed in the NFL. I mean, his stature 5'10", $182 is not exactly a world beater like DK Metcalf, but man, are you kidding me? The amount of disrespect this guy gets. Nearly 5,000 receiving yards in 6 seasons, 37 touchdowns, not to mention what he does when he returns the football or runs the football. He just deserves a lot more credit. I think it's about time some people start recognizing this man for what he does. And then, of course, we talk about DK Metcalf. We've already talked about what we think of DK Metcalf. He's going to be a transcendent wide receiver in the NFL. We know that. We know all that. But it's the weapons on every level for me that impressed me about the Seattle Seahawks. We've already touched DK and unlock it. But you got Chris Carson, Rashad Penny, I think has still got some things. Gerald Everett, in my opinion, could actually blow up. Now, cards on the table, a former second-round pick, not exactly didn't pan out with the Rams. But, man, the Seattle Seahawks really use their tight ends. And I'm really excited to see. Maybe Everett could find a way and to roll here. And I think it could be really interesting to see what happens. Because all it takes is a for sure Hall of Fame quarterback in Russell Wilson to change around the career of a guy like Gerald Everett, and I think he can do it. And I think we're kind of comparing apples to oranges, apples to pears. We like to be different on this channel. We're comparing apples to peaches. I love peaches, so we have to actually compare it to that. When you talk about the quarterback comparison between Russell Wilson and Jared Goff, now, I think Jared Goff is a respectable quarterback, but he's no Russell Wilson. We need to be abundantly clear about that. And then this offensive line, which actually gets a lot of hate, I don't actually think it's that bad. It could be a lot worse. You could be the Vikings offensive line, for example. We talked about Dwayne Brown, the 35-year-old. Even though still out there doing his thing, getting it done, was relatively solid last year. And I honestly think this offensive line it could be better than advertised. Damian Lewis impressed. I believe from what I saw, I played a lot of right guard last year. I was impressed with what I saw. Ethan Posich, I thought the Vikings should have got him a couple years ago, but they didn't. Gabe Jackson there as well, and Brandon Shell. I think this could be a pretty fun offensive line. And when you've got Russell Wilson back there making plays with his legs, you don't really need an amazing offensive line. You really don't. Now, does it need to improve? Yes. But I think Russell Wilson, with what he does with his legs, it's just it's not needed. The offensive line is not needed. A transcendent offensive line. There we go. Better way of putting it. And then you got your defense. You know, I think Bobby Wagner is still amazing for what he's doing. You got Quandre Diggs, Jordan Brooks there, who I made a video about. I think he's going to be really fun. Kerry Hyder Jr. Poona Ford is one of the most underrated defensive tackles in the entire NFL. This defense has got talent. This offense has got talent. They've got a franchise quarterback. They've got a coach. They've got the makings to go out and get a title. And I think they can do it. I most certainly think they can do it. And I think the excuses here's what it is for me. For the last couple of days, as a Vikings fan, I've been watching the 2009 season. And for Vikings fans, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The magical season with Favre. There was magic. There really was something different about that team. I think the Seahawks can have a magical team. I really do. I think they've got the coach for it. They've got the quarterback for it. And I think they've got the rest of the team for it as far as depth-wise, and weapon-wise. I think it could be a really fun football team to watch. And I think but at the end of the day, I definitely think the Seahawks need to go get a title this year. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support we get and continue to get from you guys. We deeply love all of you. Make sure you guys check out our website at thesportsbriefpodcast.com. Give us a sub and a listen on iTunes. That's where you'll find a lot of our longer episodes there as well. Leave us a comment as well, as far as send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com if you'd like us to cover something else. But with that, let us know what you guys think about the Seattle Seahawks needing to go get a title.